Don't try to build a sales funnel in 2025. There's something that you can do that's significantly better, easier to implement. All of the biggest online marketers are using it, and it converts at a higher percentage than a normal sales funnel. This new method is gaining popularity every single day. And it's for good reason, because it's so much easier to implement than a normal sales funnel. It will cost you next to nothing, and it will allow you to essentially fire your marketing team. When you're building a sales funnel, you have tons of things to pay attention to. But with this method, you will be only focusing on the essentials, and you will be getting a multiple of the results that you would be normally getting with a normal sales funnel. So if you can spend the next 10 minutes watching this video, I'll be able to explain to you in detail what the alternative to a normal sales funnel is, how you can use it, and more importantly, I'll also show you some case studies of actual people using this method and how they are taking advantage of it. So here's the old method that, in my opinion, is completely dead. It takes people from the awareness stage to consideration, then to conversion, and it's typically done by posting a YouTube video, leading people to an opt-in page, then to a VSL page, then the application and the call booking. Now, the reason that this is dead is because it is merely qualifying people. It is merely taking the already qualified people from your audience, and it's converting those people. But on the other hand, the new strategy that's absolutely ripping the market nowadays is the marketing vortex. The main difference between the marketing vortex and a normal sales funnel is that in the marketing vortex, you're not only qualifying people, you're also making them qualified. You are transforming their beliefs, you're transforming your audience to fit your ideal client profile. Some of the best examples over here is, for example, Brez Scales. You probably know him, but if you don't, then here you go. Who has transformed the normal SMMA business model into freelance brand scaling, and therefore takes these chill guys, these young people who are 15, 16 years old, and he transforms them into SMMA gurus, essentially. And he's dragging them into his own vortex because of the brand scaling, because 15, 16 years olds like to dress nice, and therefore he's able to transform them into becoming SMMA gurus. Then take a look at Samuel Millsap over here, who's doing the same thing on Instagram. He's transforming people into online coaches who before may not have been online coaches, right? If you go to his Instagram, you'll see exactly what I mean. And once you have baited people in your system, then you are able to drag them down. And let me show you why this is easier to implement than any sort of sales funnel that you've heard about so far. Now, why can I talk about this topic, and why do I have any sort of credibility to open my mouth about this? I'm David Müller, and I help online coaches start and scale their coaching business. And in the past few months, in doing that, I've generated over 6 figures for my clients. And I have also analyzed 300 of the best online marketing funnels in 2025, have mapped everything out in detail. And the thing that I realized is that they are not sales funnels anymore. These are not sales funnels. The most successful funnels are not sales funnels. So here's what the biggest gurus use, and here's how they use the marketing vortex and why it makes so much sense for them to use a marketing vortex instead of a sales funnel. I'll be showing you Liam Otley's example and then Samuel Millsap's example over here. In his YouTube channel, Liam is not only speaking to people who are already in the AI agency business, but he's also speaking to people who are generally running an online business, and he helps them see why running an agency, an AI agency, is so much better than anything else that they have tried so far. Therefore, he's getting people into his system, and they slowly get trapped in his marketing vortex. And the way that he's doing that is he's providing very, very low friction lead magnets, where you can see how low friction it is. I mean, over 122,000 members have joined his school community, and he has an insane amount of resources in there. Because a school community like this is not only a sales funnel, right? It's not only something that he's able to just filter people with, but he's able to educate them, and he's able to transform their beliefs and transform what they view, their perspective on the world. And after watching his modules in the school community, and he has extensive modules, like, believe me, he's able to transform their beliefs, because building Morningside My AAA, that's actually his high ticket program. So he's able to get people into his system with a very, very low friction lead magnet, getting people to join his school community. As you can see, a lot of people did so. And he's able to indoctrinate him with his own worldview, with his own business model. So therefore, he's not reliant on just qualifying people. He's also transforming people into his ideal client profile, because his ideal client profile might have already tried a couple of agency models, might have tried drop shipping and stuff like that. But although someone completely new to online business comes into his system, they're able to educate themselves and become his ideal client profile, and then eventually lead them from all of those lead magnets and all of those assets. He's able to indoctrinate them and lead them to his AAA Accelerator high ticket program. And then you can see, just as in this graphic over here, he's able to capture the YouTube attention with very generic videos that a lot of people can watch. And then he's able to get them into his vortex. Now, for him, even a school is a big part of his marketing strategy. But essentially from there, it's all the same, right? He has his emails, then he has his lead magnets, and obviously his calendar bookings. So it's almost always the same. Now, when it comes to Samuel Millsap's example, this is a little bit different, because Samuel Millsap is not relying on getting people watch a YouTube video and then into his school community, because he is using Instagram. Now, the main difference between YouTube and Instagram is that on YouTube, you are typically not posting often enough to actually indoctrinate a person and actually get them into a vortex like this. So on YouTube alone is typically not enough if you want to build a very, very effective marketing vortex. And the way that most people circumvent this is that either they provide people with lead magnets to get them into their system, or they do free school communities like over here. And this allows them to own the audience, right? This allows them to collect their contact information and have a direct channel of communication with them. Now, but when it comes to Instagram, like in Samuel Millsap's case over here, Instagram itself is already an owned audience, because on Instagram, if people are watching your stuff and they have followed you, then it's almost like an email list, right? But for videos, in a sense. You are able to post stories to them, you are able to reach them with reels, you can DM them, you can post highlights, you can create a bio, and you can also add a lead magnet if you want to, right? You can use lead magnets on Instagram as well. So Samuel Millsap's strategy over here is that he's posting very viral reels with his cars. You know, he has multiple Lamborghinis, he has a G-Wagon, so he has all of these cool cars, which is getting people's attentions. And then by them watching his content, by them watching this one, then looking at his profile, but then getting into another loop and then watching this one over here, then this one over here, then this one over here, he's able to indoctrinate him into his system and start getting them into his marketing vortex. He's starting from Instagram, and by having people watch hundreds of his videos, essentially, because he's posting 10 to 30 times per day, he's able to get people into his system, take a look at his profile, what he's doing exactly, take a look at his highlights, take a look at his stories, and then in the end, he has call to actions, a DM call to actions, under almost every single one of his videos, but also on his Instagram bio, so DM me coach. And once people finally do that, so for him, there you go, he's not leading people to Gmail, but rather he's leading people to his Instagram DMs. So for him, this part over here is the Instagram DMs. And then in the Instagram DMs, he's having, like his appointment setter is having a conversation with you and scheduling you on a call. So this is how Samuel Millsap is using a marketing vortex on Instagram. And the reason that this is so easy to implement is because you just have to post the right types of content pieces. You don't have to have a sales funnel landing page. You don't need the most complex scheduling. You don't need any of that, right? You just need an Instagram account. Or what you can do also is you need a YouTube account and create a free school community where you literally just dump all of your information in there. And that's it. That's why it's so easy to implement. Now, in comparison to sales funnel and the marketing vortex, this is what it looks like. When it comes to a sales funnel, you have traffic and then you have the qualified traffic. You're essentially selecting people from your traffic who are qualified. But in the marketing vortex case, you take your traffic and then you realize that people are not always 100% qualified, but they are somewhere along the journey, right? There are some people who are not at all qualified. Then some people are 20% qualified. Some people are 80% qualified, and some people are completely qualified. And what you're doing here in the marketing vortex, you're taking people from this stage all the way over here. So it's a transformative system instead of a selective system over here, right? So when you look at the marketing funnel, you have your leads. Then a ton of people are unqualified, so they just go out the side. Then you have your booked calls, and then again, some people are unqualified. Maybe not this much, but some people are unqualified. And then some people are closed. There we go. But in the case of the marketing vortex, you're able to get your audience, you're able to transform their beliefs and transform them intrinsically so that everyone almost in your audience becomes qualified at some point in time. Now, some people are even less qualified than other people, but for those people, typically it just takes more time. Now, obviously, I also don't want to forget that not everyone is meant to be successful in this world, so some people will still remain unqualified. But in the marketing vortex case, one follower is not worth the same amount as in the sales funnels case. Because one follower, if you have one follower in the marketing vortex or one person in your traffic column, then they're going to convert with a higher likelihood than anyone here in the sales funnel, because you're actually making them qualified. You're not just waiting for them to be qualified by themselves, right? So how do you actually implement the marketing vortex for yourself? So there are four main pillars to implementing the marketing vortex. The first is the core business audit, which defines where your marketing vortex even is, right? Like, what's your niche? What's your business model? How are you structuring your team and everything that you're doing? And how does it make sense for you specifically? This is the core business audit. What's your offer, right? So what is the actual offer that you're giving to the market? Then the second is the traffic mechanism, then the lead mechanism, then the sales mechanism. So the main pinpointers here in the traffic mechanism, which is Instagram and YouTube over here, is that it has to have a baity style. So it has to bait people in a little bit, right? It has to remain high level, and it has to have personal elements so that people get dragged into your system. They get dragged into your marketing vortex. Sorry, it's actually over here. Why did I go up there? I don't know. But they get dragged into your marketing vortex because of you, right? Because it's a person. And watching people, and everyone likes to watch people. But then you are able to transform their beliefs. And it has to become high volume, so you have to post a ton over here in the traffic mechanism, because if it's not high volume, then you are unable to grab people's attention and just hold them. Anytime you're not posting, you are letting people slip from your system. And this is also why, if you take a look at Samuel Millsap over here, he's posting 10 to 30 times per day. And that's a ton, right? Liam Otley, he's relying on his school community, and in there he's posting a ton. Then when you look at Brad Scales over here, he's also posting 2 to 3 YouTube videos a day. And he also has an Instagram where he's posting multiple times per day. So this is when it comes to traffic mechanism, this is what you have to pay attention to. And again, it also has to be transformative, right? You have to transform people's beliefs. Then in the lead mechanism, it has to be more in depth, push to the next step, increase pressure with call to actions. It has to have a little bit of a stronger language. You have to speak with a little more authority and be a bit more confident in general. And then in the last step, you have to become increasingly transformative. So you have to push people to take the next steps, because otherwise they won't do it by themselves, right? Then the last one is the sales mechanism, which is finalizing the identity transformation. If you've done everything correctly over here, then this should be 80% of the sale already. This should be 80% of one person buying or them not buying. So this is what people mean by having their sales calls turn into onboarding calls if done right. And this is how you can create a marketing vortex. So in summary, this is how you can create a marketing vortex. Rewatch this video to get a firm grasp on what it means to transform your sales funnel into a marketing vortex. And if you want to implement these 4 steps that I've outlined over here, then I help online coaches and consultants start and scale their business, and I help them implement these exact 4 steps into their business. So we start with the business audit and market research to identify your business model, to identify the best offer that you can bring to the market. Then step 2, we make your conversion assets and backend setup fit the model of the marketing vortex. So we'll build school communities, Discord communities, whatever fits best for your specific purpose. Then in step 3, we are going to create a content creation strategy, which will get people into your system. It will include the baity style. It will be high level enough, but also include personal elements and be a transformative system instead of just a selective one. And then the last one is having a sales process and mastering that sales process so that you are actually able to convert people and make data-driven decisions with the right tracking. So if you're an online coach or consultant and this sounds interesting to you and you like this video, then you can go ahead and schedule a call with me, first link in the description, where you and me would be going over your system and outlining these exact 4 steps. And even if we don't end up working together, I'll still send you all of the necessary SOPs to implement a system like this and all of the analysis that makes it possible for you to implement it yourself as well. So again, if you like this video, do the YouTube things, like, share, subscribe, comment, and I'll be getting back to you if you have any questions about this. Bye-bye.